Nordic. Did you know your liver works around the clock processing food, sugar, alcohol, and everyday toxins? All things that can really impact your health.
That's why daily support matters. Active Liver is designed to help protect normal liver function and support your body's natural detox process.
With trusted ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and artichoke extract, it's gentle enough to take all year long.
No harsh cleanses, no extreme detoxes, just simple daily liver support. We really feel the difference.
Yup, more energy and the peace of mind knowing we can enjoy the good things in life while giving our liver the love it needs.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or you can find it in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
20 degrees at 10:03 with KTRS News. I'm Steve Potter. It's primary election day in Illinois for the 2026 midterms. Among the most closely watched statewide races are for governor and the U.S. Senate. Localized elections will focus on races for sheriff, county boards, treasurers, and clerks. One person is dead after an overnight plane crash at the Spirit of St. Louis Airport. Authorities say a small aircraft crashed on the east end of the airport just after 3 o'clock this morning. The FAA has been called in to investigate. Last week's 314 Day on Saturday followed a full week of festivities, events, and special deals from St. Louis businesses. And now that the 2026 celebration is over, Tony Wish of Greater St. Louis, Inc. told KTRS that they're moving ahead after bringing on new CEO Ron Kitchens last fall.
We are doing everything we can to work with our partners across the region to create jobs, bring more and better jobs here to St. Louis and across the region, and to help drive inclusive economic growth so that everybody in St. Louis has the opportunity to thrive. So that's our mission. That's what we're working on. And, we're kind of getting into the new year with a new plan to make that all happen.
Wish says it's all about getting St. Louis going again. The Illinois Department of Revenue is alerting taxpayers to changes by the United States Postal Service that could impact tax filings this year. The postmark may no longer reflect the date when the piece of mail was dropped off at a local post office. This change can directly impact time-sensitive documents such as tax returns and payments, and the department is encouraging taxpayers who mail their returns and tax payments to do so earlier to ensure that they meet the April 15th filing deadline. And the City of St. Louis Recovery Office is hosting a community meeting and resource fair today.
The event is to provide residents with an update on tornado recovery progress and the work residents should expect to see across impacted neighborhoods this spring. City leaders will outline how damaged properties are being prioritized for demolition, stabilization, and repair, and how construction partners are helping scale repair work and provide updates on the funding supporting the recovery efforts. The meeting will be held from 5:30 this afternoon until 8:30 this evening at the O'Fallon Park Rec Complex. Jill Enders, KTRS News.
This KTRS Business Minute brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. The Pasta House Company is returning to southeast Missouri. Cape Girardeau's Pasta House closed in 2014, and the owners now report they're building the new location and that plans have been approved by the city with a scheduled opening this fall. Now the markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune into Straight Talk on Retirement Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. The Dow is up 259 points at 47,209. NASDAQ up 157 at 22,532. And the S&P 500 up 40 at 6,740. In sports, St. Louis will play host to 8 matches during the 2028 Olympic soccer competition. This will include a match from the men's quarterfinal rounds. And the Big 550 will bring you Mizzou versus Miami in the first round of the NCAA tournament with pregame coverage beginning at 6 p.m. Friday night. Our forecast, we're looking for a high today of 35 degrees, a 40% chance for some snow and gusty winds overnight with a low in the low 30s, then mostly cloudy tomorrow morning, then gradually clearing skies with an afternoon high near 65. We're coming up on 7 minutes past 10 o'clock. We have sunshine, 20 degrees at the Gold Tower at Westport. Steve Potter, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
And now, the Frank and Jill Show. It's Frank Cusimano, Jill Farmer on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis. Powered by STL Medical Weight Loss. See the Dr. Joe difference at stlmedweightloss.com.
Hello and welcome to the Frank and Jill Show on a Tuesday morning. Top of the morning to you. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Randy Naughton is in the house today.
Hi, me lassie.
Yes,
How many
co-hosting.
bad Irish accents are we going to hear today?
Very glad to have you with us today.
Thank you for
not
having
mine. I can't even pretend.
Are you
to do it.
Irish?
I'm sure somewhere. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all Northern European. Most of it's Scandinavian, I think.
Yeah,
but
I
I'm
could see
sure.
that with you. No, I'm definitely Irish.
Yeah, really?
100% Irish. Yeah, not 100%, but I'm Irish.
That
for sure.
makes sense. Frank, of course, I wish I could say he was getting a much-deserved week off, but we know Frank. He's never taken time off just for
No.
fun. He's on assignment, a very busy week, but it is his happy week because we have two teams from our region, of course, Mizzou and SLU, both in the NCAA tournament, so that is where what he is doing is covering that. And I hope you'll tune in and see all of his great coverage on KSDK, and he'll be checking in with us through the course of the week, chatting as well. Connor McCarthy here as well today.
Hi, Connor. Sorry.
Hello.
Hi, how
I
you
didn't
doing,
have
buddy?
I didn't have the mic in front of me.
Connor, if you haven't heard yet, Randy had a chance to pre-celebrate St. Patrick's Day in none other than the great city of Chicago, which does St. Patty's Day up right over the weekend.
And apparently Carl was there too.
And you didn't bump into
I
each
didn't
other?
bump into him, believe it or not.
With
There was
a
a lot of
million
people.
of your closest
there was a lot of
friends?
people up there.
Yep, checking out the Green River and hopefully not.
And he's here today, which says something. Nice.
Yeah, he was here
Nice.
And I was here
Yesterday.
yesterday and on Sunday. Can you believe that?
Connor McCarthy. See another bad Irish accent.
We'll get there. We'll work on it.
No, we won't.
By the end of the
I'll
show,
stop
you'll
it.
get there.
I promise.
We do have an excellent show lined up for you today, not just because Randy is in the house with us, but Dr. Rick, of course, going to join us. Some late-breaking medical news we're going to talk about today. And, of course, you guys always can text in your medical questions for Dr. Rick. He's great about getting to as many of those as we can in that segment. Royal Banks, Missouri, text line 84126. Do get him in early because, as you remember, there's some lag time. So if you do it while you're hearing Dr. Rick, we may not be able to get to him on the air. Joe Holloman, lots of stuff happening in both local politics and the world of politics. Post-Dispatch political columnist and reporter are going to join us at 11:05. And then we have a friend from Darrell Connor from 20 Minutes to Fitness is going to talk. He can talk the logistics of why 20 Minutes to Fitness works so darn well. And so if you have questions for him, you can text those in.
I have a lot of questions because I'm one of those people who are like, 20 minutes, you get a full body workout? What?
Same Z's until I started doing it. No. And now I can, and I've got to tell you, you would not believe how effective it is if you really focus in.
Good.
So,
I'm going to pick his brain for sure.
yep, looking forward to all of that. Are you a corned beef, cabbage, potatoes, or Reuben kind of girl on these days?
Once a year, yes. Once a year, I like to extra sauerkraut, on my corned beef. But yeah, once in a while I do that. And what about you?
Well, I do. I went to Trader Joe's because we were down to crumbs in the cupboards, as my grandma used to say, and they were out yesterday. And I didn't have two grocery stores in me because I was on my way to get to a coaching client. And so I think John and I are going to go pick up some Reuben or something somewhere.
Well, there's
tonight.
plenty of restaurants who have it.
Well, and that's my question for the text line. Where do you guys love to go? One of my favorite Reubens is, of course, Crown Candy Kitchen. They just have
the last time I was there a few months ago, that's what I had, and it was phenomenal.
Isn't it? Just melt in your mouth.
Just ridiculous. I mean, it's a lot of food, and once in a while you just say, you know what? I'm going to eat the whole thing, and I did.
Yeah.
And I have no regrets, and it was great.
Sauerkraut's good for you.
It is so good for you. Fermented cabbage just sounds gross, but I love it.
Yeah, it
growing
really
up
is.
in a Polish, Hungarian, Irish family, that's what you ate. You ate a lot of cabbage.
Right. And as we talked about with Connor yesterday, people, and I usually do the one pot, boil the corned beef and then put the cabbage in there along with the potatoes and the carrots.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, boiled cabbage. And I said, yeah, but when you boil it with some salty meat fat in there, it does tend
the
to.
kielbasa going. My husband won't eat that. I grew up eating that, but my husband won't eat it.
And so I want to know on the Royal Banks of Missouri text line, where do you guys love to go, either for a good Irish, some Irish food today, or if you're a Reuben fan like I am, we'd like a good list by the time we get to the end of the show today of your favorite places to go for a phenomenal Reuben.
And do you like a Guinness?
Sometimes, yeah. And that's a great point. I have another place that Schlafly does a really good Reuben. I've gotten it there before, and the bartender practically insisted I pair it with
Their
a
dark
Guinness,
beer,
a
yeah.
real dark beer, Guinness-like beer. Even though that doesn't tend to be, I always joke I don't want to have to drink my beer with a spoon because it's so thick.
It is heavy,
but
and
when
filling.
you pair it with that really salty and the sauerkraut, it actually was very, very good.
Once in a while you got a Guinness, right? You just have to. Once in a while you do, and it just goes down like butter.
It does. Well, we have a lot to get to on the show today, including our opening dialogue coming up in just a minute. So stick around. We'll be right back after this.
It's time to dance. Tune in to our NCAA Tournament Preview Show, Wednesday, March 18th at 7 o'clock. It's presented by Royal Banks of Missouri, T.R. Hughes Homes, and Lisi Lumber Company. College basketball lives on the Big 550.
Are you planning a home remodel or a spring getaway for your family? Turn your vision into reality with a home equity line of credit from Royal Banks of Missouri. Whether you're looking to elevate your space or create new travel memories, Royal Banks of Missouri is here to help you make the most of your home's value and provide flexibility to fund your big plans. Call 314-212-1500 or visit royalbanksofmo.com for more information. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Looking for a great local restaurant recommendation?
Missy Mo.
Tune in to the Kuno Food Service weekly special during the Frank and Jill Show, Thursdays at 11. Hear from the best of the best restaurant owners in town. Only on the Frank and Jill Show, Thursdays at 11. Presented by Kuno Food Service, right here on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
Managing attorney of Milton Law Group, STL tax lawyer Mark Milton is widely recognized as one of the top tax resolution attorneys in the country. Mark and his team provide trusted legal representation to troubled taxpayers, specializing in tax debt resolution, tax audit defense, and unfiled tax returns. For a local solution to your IRS problems, contact STL tax lawyer Mark Milton by visiting stltaxlawyer.com.
Choice of lawyers and important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
You can feel the Clydesdales circling the field. Hear the stands come alive. Smell the hot dogs, the popcorn, and cold beer in the air. See the crowd rise as the first pitch hits the glove. And just like that, a new season begins. The countdown is on until opening day, and tickets start at just $49. Don't miss St. Louis's favorite holiday. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/opening day.
Hot matchup, colder drinks, only at Busch Stadium when the Cardinals host the Tampa Bay Rays on Sunday, March 29th. Fans will take home a stainless steel Cardinals tumbler presented by Coca-Cola and Quick Trip. Designed to lock in the cold and show off your Cardinals pride, it's the perfect companion for 9 innings and beyond. A practical addition to any Cardinals collection that'll keep you cool all game long. Tickets are available at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Nolan Gorman. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com.
This is Mariah, third generation at Newsteaders Fine Jewelry. Buying an engagement ring can be intimidating. At Newsteaders, we ensure complete understanding of your purchase. We offer a choice in both lab and mine-grown diamonds and are able to work with any budget. Let our family help educate you on your choice at Big Bend and Doherty Ferry or at wowdiamonds.com.
At Maryville University, we power dreams, not just degrees. For nearly 150 years, we've empowered graduates to build successful careers. At Maryville, expect a rigorous, technology-driven, mentor-inspired education in a diverse and inclusive learning environment. We help you take it to the next level, no matter what field you choose. Now is the time to turn your ambition into action and transform your dream into reality. Start your journey at maryville.edu.
The official birthplace of the toasted ravioli is
Mama's on the Hill.
And Mama's on the Hill serves the best in town. Mama's has been a mainstay on the Hill for decades and is still a family-run restaurant serving up great Italian Italian food and a fun atmosphere. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner. And right in the heart of the hill at Edwards and Bischoff. Delicious catering and party rooms, too.
Mama's on the hill!
Make reservations at 314-776-3100 and 24/7 at mamasonthehill.com.
Happy St. Patrick's Day from the Big 550.
It's a great day for the Irish.
KTRS. And now the opening dialogue with Frank and Jill on the Big 550 KTRS. Powered by Worldwide Technology Raceway.
Welcome back to the Frank and Jill Show. Jill Farmer, Randy Naughton in today.
Good
Always
morning.
a blast to have you here. Connor McCarthy as well. First thought for me this morning. Diesel prices just crossed $5 a gallon, only the second time in history. And if that doesn't sound like your problem because you're not a diesel shopper, unfortunately, bad news. It probably is a bit of a problem for all of us. Diesel is a fuel, of course, that runs the economy, powers trucks that deliver groceries, trains that move goods, machinery that builds and manufactures just about everything we buy. Spike, of course, being driven by the ongoing war in the Middle East, now in its third week, disrupting global supply chains for diesel and the specific crude oil that's needed in order to produce diesel. Last time it topped $5, by the way, was back in late 2022. Markets were reeling from Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Here's that ripple effect. When diesel goes up, it's that higher transportation costs. Of course, unfortunately, that ends up getting baked into food prices, retail goods,
airline tickets,
construction. Economists warn this could slow economic activity, hitting consumers right in the wallet. They're trying to stabilize gas prices right now, but unfortunately, diesel is that quiet driver behind the scenes that we could end up in trouble. And it is a bit, I think, according to economists who know a lot more about this than me, a bit of a flashing warning sign for what could be coming next.
So what do you do?
Well,
do you not run the trucks on the highways? Do you stay home? Do you not fly? What do you do?
You pass those expenses on to consumers.
Yes, you do. And you pay if you want to go. And that's about it. That's all. It's the only choice you have, it seems.
Yeah, and I have to admit, when I was first reading a couple of stories about this today, my first thought is, well, I haven't had a car that needed diesel since that one time we had a diesel car back in the 90s. But as I'm reading, more of as you think deeper about the analytics of it, it's a bit of a bellwether for this. And I know hopefully the powers that be are keeping a close eye on that for sure. From the Royal Banks of Missouri text line, by the way, very good point made by one of our sharp listeners that I forgot, and just it's must be my St. Patrick's Day brain. Of course, Illinois we're also rooting for Illinois being in the tournament as well. So we don't just have two area teams; we have three fabulous area teams that we are keeping track of and cheering for loudly in the tournament. So thanks, you guys, for making that correction.
So it's SLU on Thursday.
Late.
Yeah, late.
In your neck of the woods, Buffalo.
Yes, they're playing in Buffalo. I had someone just ask me as
You're
I was
the only
walking.
person, by the way, that's excited about that. The rest of the area is like, really? We got Buffalo? We couldn't have had Chicago?
Well, it is Bills country, so the Billikens are playing there, so it all kind of makes sense, right? The Bills in Bills country. And then you have Mizzou on Friday in St. Louis, which, hello, how great is that? I don't know when Illinois is playing. Do you know?
Illinois
Connor?
is also Thursday night.
They are playing Thursday night. Okay. Oh, I'm going to have to switch back and forth.
But the Billikens game is going to be really late by the time it wraps up here, right?
Yeah, I think this says the Illinois game tipping off at 8:30. That can always be, subject to a little bit of change, but that's also pretty late.
Wait, you said the Illinois game is at 8:30? I thought the Billikens game was at 8:30.
Yeah.
They're both tipping off at the same time.
Yep.
All right, so it's going to we're hitting the back button on the remote.
You got to have the two screens.
Yep.
Yes, and also, if we're being honest, Randy, very close to both of our bedtimes. So that's rough.
Well, I'll stay awake for that. I'll stay
awake
awake for that for sure.
Tell me what you think of this article from the USA Today. Gen Z has a new viral trend fixing their attention spans.
What now?
It's getting a lot of attention for one simple reason, and it's basically doing nothing. But hear me out here. I actually really sort of like this because there's some psychological science behind it. Now, what they're calling it all over TikTok and all over Instagram is a ridiculous name. I'm just going to say that ahead of time. It's called raw dogging boredom. The name is ridiculous. But
raw dogging boredom.
But the idea is
Okay.
pretty sound, actually, and straightforward. Set a timer, sit down, remove all distractions. That means no phone, no music, no TV. You just sit with your thoughts. It sounds uncomfortable. It is. That's kind of the point. Now, the reason that so many Gen Zers are attempting it, and there's thousands and thousands and thousands of videos talking about this very thing if you're hanging out on TikTok or any of the other socials, they want you to sit through that discomfort, squirming, fidgeting, reaching for your phone, because mental health experts say it actually works. Psychotherapists remind us unplugging like this helps us retrain our brain to focus. It helps us reduce anxiety, build what is essentially a muscle for our intention. In other words, I would say it as Gen Z has just rebranded something we've known for a long time.
Yeah.
And that's mindfulness and meditation.
See, I love that idea, and I try to. I'm not Gen Z. I'm not Gen Z, but I kind of try to do something like that if I go on my morning walk, which is anywhere between 45 minutes and an hour. I tuck my phone away and just listen. I don't listen to anything. I just look at stuff, take photos along the way, and hear nature.
Yep.
Being outdoors every day is one of my goals.
Well, and nature's really good. It's a really good reset button for our brains, and that's what Gen Z is sort of repackaging in all of in this conversation. Is we know that sitting alone with our thoughts is not always peaceful. Sometimes it's awkward, but it's exactly what that distracted, always on culture needs. Our brains are going. Mindfulness and meditation, there's so much brain science behind it now that we know that it's not just a nice thing you do when you have nothing else to do, but it helps actually reset our brain's ability to focus, to take in and retain information.
Yeah.
You don't have to be become some guru that sits in an ashram for hours. Even as little as 1 minute of just
Starting
just
with 1
counting your
minute.
breaths,
Yeah, just
or doing
start.
what you're doing, already taking a walk, but doing it without outside input. Both Frank and I, definitely have some ADD, and so we tend to like to have something being playing all the time.
Yeah.
Or we're constantly responding.
So, are
to
you
the
a
text.
TV in the background kind of a person
I
at
am.
home?
So I have to work hard
I'm
to
not.
do some mindfulness and meditation
I don't
every
even.
day.
I don't even put music on in the car. I like quiet. One of our texters says, "I feel like Gen Z just likes to take credit for making up cute names for things that people have already done since the dawn of time."
Ding, ding, ding. I think many would agree with you on that one, and very, very well said for sure. But whatever form it comes in, the coach in me loves the idea that reminds us that sometimes it's just good for us
Just
to
slow
get
down
quiet.
and breathe, right?
Yep. Couple of potpourri items for the final thought today in the opening dialogue. So John and I had to force ourselves to turn off Shrinking last night. We caught up on 2 episodes. We really wanted to go to the next one, but we needed to go to bed. Season 1 was great. Season 2 is fabulous. Such great writing and characters if you haven't checked it out.
I did. That is the one with
Harrison Ford. Jason
And the big
Segel.
tall guy.
Yep.
Right. I did start to watch that when it first came out, and it sort of lost me. But you say season 2 is like really good?
I think it's a lot like a lot of shows that take a minute to ramp up. So I'm thinking of rhymes with Hits Creek that we probably can't say on the radio, and Ted Lasso, where at first you're like, this is a little preposterous. These characters are a little too off the wall. And then over time, sort of the quirkiness and it's good writing and it's clever, it sort of grabs you, and then all of a sudden you're all in.
And I'm not a huge TV person. I watch TV mainly for sports. But I've been watching and binge watching this series on Netflix, which started on TBS in 2018. It's called Search Party, and it is funny and it's weird and it's twisty, and I'm like, okay, I'm season 4. I just finished last night. I got one more season. And it is so good. I think last time Lynn Venhouse was here, when I was with John Pertzborn on the air on the Frank and Jill show, she mentioned it. And I'm like, I'm going to check that out. I heard about this, and I'm loving it. The
Good.
characters are silly and fun.
We take all of Lynn's advice here on the Frank and Jill show because she's proven to be an excellent filter for the overwhelming amount of media that are out there to consume. I love her recommendations. A couple other things in potpourri. It's my third thought today. A friend is unfortunately undergoing cancer treatment at the University of Iowa Oncology Department, but in the cancer clinic waiting room, they have added a really clever device. It's a machine that dispenses short stories for patients in the waiting room who want a more interesting diversion than just scrolling on their phones. You can pick whether you want a 1-minute read, a 3-minute read, or a 5-minute story. It prints it out like a cash register cash register receipt rather. And according to my friend, they are entertaining, original stories, changes the channel in your brain, makes the time go a lot faster. And she said it's just was a really put a smile on her face when she was going up for an appointment that she wasn't, of course, thrilled to go to.
I'm guessing they don't charge for this, but I can see this sitting in an airport somewhere. Here, give me $2 for a 1-minute story or $3 for what a cool idea.
I thought
I
so
love
too.
that.
I had never heard of this before.
And I'm an audiobook person. I do
Right.
like to listen to audiobooks, and I'm like, oh, that'd be kind of fun.
Well, in the University of Iowa became sort of famous. Their children's oncology unit, they purposely have these waiting room in this area that overlook the field where the football team plays. And so every single home game, the entire stadium waves at the cancer kids to
I've
say
seen
hi.
video of that. It's so cute.
And so they're kind of known for being innovative in thinking of ways to take a very challenging situation in
Right.
life and try to make it a little better. Just finished a book over the weekend. I talked to you a little bit about it, Connor. It's called What We Can Know by Ian McEwan. It's a dystopian, literary, science fiction detective story set in a submerged 2119 Britain, as in the year 2119. It's post-climate or nuclear disaster. Story follows...
Gee, sounds fun,
Yeah, I was
Jill.
gonna say, stick with me here. The story follows a scholar who investigates a lost poem from back in 2014, right? Modern times for us. It reveals some dark secrets about the past and themes of academic obsession. It was good. A little bit of a caveat. It was pretty slow in the beginning and middle. I wasn't sure I really wanted to stick with it, but some big, really unexpected twists in the last third kept me guessing. It's not a light or fast-moving read. I still liked it. It's called What We Can Know by Ian McEwan. For those of you who anything I just said sounds slightly appealing, some of you are going, thanks, Jill. I'm going to skip that one. I appreciate the warning. I'm going to completely divert that obstacle because I'm not interested in that. But that's good. Do you like reading for pleasure? And if so, what do you like reading?
I like historical fiction.
Same.
I really love it because guess what? I learn a lot. Imagine that. It's like, well, I should have paid attention in history class. I did not know that. But sometimes it's terribly depressing based on true events. I love history. I love nonfiction. And I just like goofy, fun stuff too. Just like a lot of the movies I like goofy, slapstick sort of fun stuff. So
yeah, and every once in a while, I like a really well-written biography. I mentioned last week David Grohl from the Foo Fighters and 90s music fame. His was one of my favorite biographies. I just happened to kind of bump up against in the last year or so. But every once in a while, I'm reminded I should probably read more biographies.
I just read Born Lucky by Leland Vitter.
Yeah, it's
too.
good. I read that
St.
too.
Louisan. He is now on News Nation, went to Burroughs, relentlessly bullied as a child. They didn't know it at the time, but he has autism, and he's grown up with autism. It's a story about him and his dad, how his dad. It was a terrific read. By the way, Leland is a current guest on my podcast.
Great.
More
because
to
you
say.
guys, you and Pertz got to know him pretty well. Because
Yeah, he was an intern on the morning show with us.
And a semi-regular guest on the morning show.
He's absolutely great, and I'm a huge fan. And the book itself was like, and I'm like, wow, I had no idea when he was interning with us at Fox 2 that he went through all of that as a kid. I had no idea. I mean, why would you, right? But talk about someone who's persevered. It's amazing. Great book.
I thought it was compelling, too, as well. From the Royal Banks of Missouri text line, I like shrinking, but I find that the F-bombs are tiresome, totally fair. I turn off my notifications in the evening and don't check my phone. That's probably a really, really good suggestion. The Matthew Perry biography, amazing, good to know. That's really good. And then somebody asking about the primary debates, I think talking about the big race happening in Illinois today. We plan to ask Joe Holloman about that a little bit later in the show because that race has ended up getting pretty heated and some real dollars being spent on advertising on that as well. Lots of good topics, some good questions coming in for Dr. Rick. We'll get to those when we talk to Dr. Rick right after these messages. But first, our friends at Altair Travel and Cruises. It is spring break time. And, I was talking to an acquaintance who I happened to bump into, and we had a good laugh because she said to me, you know how you think a few months in advance of sometime like spring break, like it's a really good idea to save some money this year, and we'll do a staycation and stay in St. Louis. And then right when your staycation starts, the temperature drops to 29 degrees and your friends are posting pictures from Florida or the Caribbean, and you're going, okay, it turns out spring break is a really good time to experience something in another part of the country, perhaps with warmer climates. Although we will be 80 this weekend again, so maybe that'll help make up for it. That's the kind of thing that Altair Travel and Cruises loves to be around for. So whether you want to try to plan a rather last-minute spring break getaway between now and maybe Easter or Passover or sometime in later March or April, or whether you say, I'm not going to do that thing that I did last year where I'll get around to thinking about summer vacation once the kids get out of school, and then you get there and it feels kind of late. They can help you dream and scheme about places and things to do within your budget that maybe you have never even thought about. AltairTravel.com, 314-968-9600.
And now, KTRS weather.
Our St. Patrick's Day forecast a lot colder than normal for this time of year. 37 for the afternoon high. That's about 20 degrees cooler than the norms. Plenty of sunshine, though, to get the day started. And then an increase in cloud cover this afternoon and tonight. A quick clipper system rolling in from the northwest. And some light snow or light rain showers around from late this evening into the overnight. But a warm front scooting in, so temperatures will actually be on the rise. As a result, I don't expect any accumulation or travel impacts out of this weak system. It's mid to upper 30s early Wednesday, and then we'll kick this warm-up in. 64 tomorrow, 70s Thursday and Friday. We are close to 80 by Saturday afternoon. What a turnaround. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matt Chambers on the Big 550 KTRS.
It's the Retire in Style sale at Miller Furniture and Mattress, going on now through March 17th.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. We're celebrating my dad, Linwood Miller's 50 years at the helm of Miller Furniture. He's the one who traveled across the country connecting Miller Furniture with dozens of Amish craftsmen. Now you can finish every room in the house with quality Amish-made furniture in today's updated styles.
Right now, save up to $2,000 on Amish-made furniture, Smith Brothers, and more.
For a limited time, get a free adjustable base with the purchase of any premium Chatham & Wells mattress. Queen adjustable sets start at just $19.99.
Visit any of our 4 showrooms in Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, or Ellisville and save during our Retire in Style sale. See and feel the American-made difference.
Retire in style, just like Linwood Miller, and save up to $2,000 now through March 17th. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
You know, that honey-do list isn't getting any shorter, and you got to make a dent into it. Can I recommend going somewhere to helping you out? Schnarr's Hardware. Schnarr's Hardware has 2 locations, one in Webster and one in Ladue. 1 great family, 2 great hardware stores. Schnarr's Hardware. When you walk in with that list, you say, okay, I think I know how to do this one, but these 3 I need help on. And you know what? The people behind the counter at Schnarr's Hardware, that's what they do best. They have the expertise, so they can help you with electrical, help you with plumbing, painting, really anything at Schnarr's Hardware. They're small, they're compact, but it's that friendly neighborhood hardware store that has been the way it's been here in America for years, right? You remember when your grandfather took you to the hardware store. That's Schnarr's Hardware. The popcorn and the advice are free. So when you go to Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations in Webster and in Ladue. Don't forget about the website, schnarrshardware.com. So for all your hardware needs and that honey-do list, Schnarr's Hardware or schnarrshardware.com.
Looking for a new kitchen or bath? Call me, Anne-Marie Bogus, the co-host of the Inside Out Show and owner and designer at Anne-Marie Design Studio. Visit our website at annemariestudio.com. We can help make your dream space into a reality. We're a fine kitchen and bath boutique located in Wildwood. We do it all, from design to bid to installation too. Call us today at 636-821-3395 or go online at annemariestudio.com. Let's make your dream kitchen or bath a reality with Anne-Marie Design Studio.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Spring is in the air, my favorite time of the year. I'm buying and selling, of course, cars and motorcycles daily. I like to buy a few cars a day at this time of year, and I like to buy them directly from the owner. We carry only hand-selected vehicles, and I like to meet the people they come from. It's as much a people business as it is a car business. If you're in the St. Louis metro area, I'll even come to your house to purchase your vehicle, especially if you have more than one to sell or even an entire collection. We're always on the hunt for super clean, rare, and unique vehicles. I'll even buy everyday cars if they have low miles and are exceptionally clean. Hop on my site, mastercarsinc.com, and submit what you've got to sell. We buy, sell, and trade every single day.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of Mastercars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit mastercarsinc.com to get more details. That's mastercarsinc.com.
I'm Mark Cantor. Here's why you can count on Cantor Injury Law.
My name is Michelle. I'm a litigation paralegal at Cantor Injury Law, and you can count on Cantor because we are smart, honest, and hardworking.
I'm Kevin Glenn, and a partner here at Cantor Injury Law. You can count on Cantor because we make your cause our cause.
No fee if no recovery. Please visit cantorinjurylaw.com or call us at 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Top of the morning to all of you. Frank and Jill show. Jill Farmer, Randy Naughton in for Frank who's on assignment today. Connor McCarthy here today. And, of course, Dr. Rick Lehman here to answer your medical questions and to talk about some breaking news in the world of medical science as well.
Hi, Dr. Rick. How you doing, man?
Hey, Randy, how are you?
I'm doing well, very well. I don't need your services these days, so all is good. Hey, we wanted to start with that first one, right, Jill, that we talked about. There's a report that male fertility rates are going down. What exactly does that mean, and what can the men do about it?
Well, there's 3 or 4 things. First of all, it's significant, and it's down 45% over the last 5 to 10 years. So fertility rates definitely on the decline, which means women are having much more trouble getting pregnant. Number one, we're having fewer children. Number two, more IVF fertility treatment, which is very expensive. So it's probably due to a number of things. One is the environment. People think electric cars are a factor. I think one of the biggest factors probably are cell phones. Everyone has a cell phone in their pocket, and this probably is a factor. And then this is going to sound awful for everybody out there, but tight underwear. You don't want to wear tight underwear. Tight underwear decreases your blood flow and decreases your sperm count. So, again, I think the number one thing to do is go to your doctor, get your sperm counts checked, and try and treat whatever the issue can be. And there's a workup for this. So, again, just don't go into this blindly. If you're not getting pregnant, seek help, get a sperm count, get tested, etc.
Switching gears a bit, if anybody's watching on YouTube, they'll know why I'm asking this question and probably not asking for a friend. But some new reporting that the real reason for sagging jowls and what will and won't hurt. Please do tell us. This is something that many of us of a certain
like
age
these
start
things
to
that we're
notice.
talking about. These things, I have those.
Well, I think everybody has those a little bit as they get older, and sagging jowls basically due to loss of bone structure in your mandible and in your facial bones. So basically what ends up happening is you don't have the same support structure, and as you get older, basically it's hanging curtains and there's no curtain rods. So
what a way to put it.
Yeah, and that's really unfortunately what's happening. So what you can do are, number one, you need to really address your skin. Skin's the biggest thing. So if your elasticity in your skin increases, the jowls are going to get worse. So that's the first thing. And that's just basic skin care, retinol, things that tighten up your skin. The second thing that you can do are these exercises. And everybody says, well, a lot of the stuff is dumb, but if you strengthen your masseters, the muscles in your jaw, your sagging jowls will get better. And the last thing, which doesn't work as well for sagging jowls as other issues, would be some type of plastic surgery, which I'm not really a huge fan of, to be honest. But I do think that skin care, understanding what causes it, sun exposure is terrible, causes your skin to sag. So really the big thing is prevent it, and also understand that as you get older, your bone structure is going to diminish, and there's some things you're just not going to be able to deal with unless you have a surgery.
Yeah, that's true. All right, there's something else about a common vitamin that can help with symptoms of COVID?
So I think a lot of people have long COVID, and I think a lot of people who have long COVID don't know that they have long COVID. So they're a little bit fatigued. Maybe it's 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. They're tired. They just don't have the energy they used to have. They had COVID, 2 years ago, a year ago, and they don't really attribute the two. So a couple things. Everybody with COVID or who's had COVID or has COVID should be on a vitamin D3 supplement, 5,000 units a day. That is critical. Everybody. And it's easy. You go to the drugstore, vitamin D3 is not expensive, and you want to be on it. Number two, you have to look at your ferritin count, your iron count. So there's a big issue in long COVID, and what they're treating a lot of long COVID with are blood transfusions, and that seems to help. But the simple takeaway message is make sure your vitamin D3 levels are up, and you may feel much, much better immediately after you've had COVID and you're feeling kind of sluggish.
And that's a great segue to one of our listener questions today on the Royal Banks Missouri text line 84126. Back when you were on the radio around the time of COVID, you gave some recommendations for supplements that help boost immunity. This texter says it works for me. Can you remind me what some of those are? Are those different supplements that help with some of these symptoms of long COVID or similar?
Well, they're completely different. So zinc is the big one. Magnesium is the big one. You should be on a branched chain amino acid, and that's very, very important to boost your immunity, and some type of anti-inflammatory. And things have changed a little bit. So turmeric, one of the natural anti-inflammatories. Now, everybody should be on vitamin D. You don't have to be on huge doses, and unless you're somebody who spends a lot of time in the sun, which I guess there's a lot of people that do that, then you need to be on vitamin D3, not vitamin D, but vitamin D3, and at least 2,000 units. If you have COVID, you need to be on 5,000 units. But the immunity boosters, the big things are zinc, magnesium, silver, turmeric. Those are the big ones, and they're all readily available on Amazon, CVS, Schnucks, everywhere.
All right, we do have somebody who had a question on the Royal Banks of Missouri text line asking about psoriasis. What do you think about red light therapy to treat psoriasis?
Well, I just want to walk this back for 1 second. I am a monstrous fan of red light therapy. So what is red light therapy?
Yeah.
Red light therapy changes the mitochondrial energy of the cell. So the mitochondria is sort of the engine of your trillions of cells. We all have trillions of cells, and what's the energy source? The energy source is mitochondria, and red light, the wavelength, increases the mitochondrial energy of red light. So I am a monstrous fan of red light, anti-inflammatory. We're just talking about skin tension, healing soft tissue injuries. So I'm a big fan of red light, and red light for psoriasis works very well. Unfortunately or fortunately, depending on it, you have to put the red light right on the lesion. So the lesions are normally on your extensor surfaces, your elbows, your knees, etc. They can be anywhere, and you got to put the red light. And sometimes you just need to actually go into a little bit of a red light box if you have it all over the place. But I am a big fan of red light in general, and I think it works well for psoriasis. The big treatment for psoriasis, though, is a monoclonal antibody. It's medication.
Some other research that you shared with us says that not only we hear so much about the GLP-1s and the obesity drugs, but there may be as many as 25 new obesity drugs coming in 2026 and 2027. So lots still to come on the horizon here. Tell us more.
So, it's the gold pot, right? It's the jackpot. It's the gold at the end of the rainbow. These companies are making bank. They're making a fortune. And again, you have probably somewhere around 60% of the United States that have some element of clinical obesity. So if people can afford the GLP drugs, they're going to take them because who doesn't want to look thinner? Everybody wants to look thinner. So that's what's coming on the horizon. So tremendous amount of money backing these drugs. The problem is some of these drugs make you sick. Some people are intolerable, and they all generally, except for the new Wegovy pill, are injectable. So people are jumping on the bandwagon, and what they're looking for are other mechanisms other than the GLP-1 mechanism to lose weight, mechanisms that instead of getting injected weekly, you get injected quarterly, so only 4 times a year or sometimes monthly, once a month, and then obviously the oral way to go. 25 to 30 drugs are going to come on the market in 2026. That's insane. Nothing's ever happened like that. No heart drugs, no drug have ever hit the market like these drugs. So we're going to see every iteration. Some of them are going to work, some of them are not going to work, but a lot of them, if you're intolerant or you hate needles, which a lot of my patients do, wait a little bit and you're going to see drugs that are mostly oral. Some are going to be sublingual, just under your tongue, and they're going to be much, much longer acting.
Okay, before we let you go, Dr. Rick, one last question from the 314. I know Dr. Rick drinks diet soda. I don't know how they're following you around or they know that, but they do. Do you think that the zeros like Coke Zero are better than, for instance, Diet Coke?
So first of all, I think it's a great question. I think aspartame is something, and I drink it, so I'm transparent. I try not to drink as much. I try to drink a little sparkling water, but I love Diet Coke, Diet Dr. Pepper. A little shout out there. But at the end of the day, aspartame is the culprit, and sucralose is the culprit. So, again, I think that Coke Zero has aspartame in it. You want to try to get a drink that has either stevia, which would be the best thing, or erythritol, which would be the second best thing. But aspartame is supposedly the worst for dementia and for your health. Now, after you're 70 years old, that risk goes way down. So people that are 20 to 50 probably should try to limit to one a day if they can. The second thing is it's probably better, this is my opinion and probably medical science's opinion, to drink your Diet Coke if that's what's going to control your weight, because metabolic disease, obesity, is 100 times worse for your dementia, heart disease, joints, etc., than anything that aspartame or Diet Coke's going to do.
Very good stuff. As always, Dr. Rick, thanks for letting us fire so many different questions at you today, and we will look forward to having the same conversation, same time next week. Make it a great week.
Great hearing from you guys. Randy, take care.
You too, Dr. Rick.
So speaking of medical expertise, that's one of the things that really stands out when you're looking at perhaps you have a loved one, a family member, a neighbor, even a spouse who it may be getting time to have an assessment because memory issues are showing up as you're going down the path of life and aging a bit. Park Provence in St. Louis is a wonderful care facility that specializes specifically in taking care of and helping people thrive even when they are facing the challenge of having dementia, Alzheimer's, or other issues that are creating memory issues as they are aging. One of the things that makes Park Provence be able to deliver such fabulous care and stay on the cutting edge of medical technology, the latest treatments to slow the progression of memory loss, the greatest interventions, for instance, what activities should people be doing that help and that we know keep them more physically active and therefore slow the progression of dementia, is that they have simply the best in the field when it comes to medical expertise. Dr. David B. Carr, professor of Washington University School of Medicine, who is the director of clinical services for the Division of Geriatrics and Gerontology, nationally recognized expert in the field of memory care. And once again, he is Park Provence's medical director, working with an absolute excellent team of experts. If it's time to start asking some questions, perhaps to have an assessment, to get some real clear answers on what the best options are, today is the day. Pick up the phone, 314-542-2500, to learn more or schedule a tour, or visit parkprovence.com.
Hi, it's Frank Cusimano inviting you to join me for the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. We're going to interview some of the biggest names in sports and have our opening monologue. That's the Press Box, brought to you by Control Option, Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
It's bracket season. Dogtown bracket, that is. And while the players take the court, the Dogtown pizzas hit the ovens.
Pepperoni versus sausage. Bacon versus veggie. And don't forget #1 overall seed.
Hot chicken. And with 13 different varieties, this will be the tastiest Final Four in league history. Celebrate tournament time with Dogtown Pizza and build your own bracket with 13 different varieties. Dogtown Pizza and dogtownpizza.com.
Tune in Mondays to the Frank and Jill Show for Success St. Louis Style as they feature a St. Louis in making a difference in our community. Brought to you by the St. Louis Chess Club.
Building champions in the classroom and the community. Online at stlouischessclub.org. Kick off the season with a winning team. Choose Hackett Security to watch your home while you're watching the game. Hackett Security has a system to meet every budget. They are a locally owned national security company with on-site 24/7 UL listed monitoring. Visit HackettSecurity.com or call 314-432-4200. Who will be watching your home while you're watching the game? Hackett Security. They're looking out for you. 314-432-4200. HACKETT Security.com.
Truck drivers, are you tired of your pay not matching your experience? At Schneider, our truck driver pay is designed so your years of service directly translate to higher earnings. Plus, longtime drivers qualify for larger sign-on bonuses and a larger selection of driving jobs. Pick from dry van, intermodal, tanker, and dedicated opportunities. Ready to be rewarded for your hard work and expertise? Find the right driving job for you at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
March Madness is here. Don't let getting hurt in a crash or on the job drive you to madness. Call Brown & Brown for a free consultation. 314-333-3333. That's 314, all threes. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision. It should not be based solely upon advertisement.
Spring is here, and that means you're going to be spending more time outside and enjoying the outdoors. But your deck... You've been thinking about doing something with that deck for years. Don't wait any longer. Go see my friends over there at Outdoor Living. Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood. It's right there. It's been there a long time. At Outdoor Living, the showroom has a great style, great designs. You can get all sorts of options. They'll come out to your house. They'll do a site visit, and when you're ready, they'll build you a deck with metal framing, composite decking, and they will put a 50-year warranty on that deck. That's right. You don't have to worry about staining. You don't have to worry about warping or anything else. All you have to worry about is how much fun you're going to have. They've also got pergolas and fences and patios furniture. Yeah, they got patio furniture at Outdoor Living. Check out the showroom, Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood. It looks like the old Denny's. You're in the right place. Or online, OutdoorLivingInc.com for all of your patio needs and a 50-year warranty on that new deck. OutdoorLivingInc.com.
We'll admit, we've already thrown in the towel on the New Year's resolution.
Yeah, and we made it through dry January. But one healthy new habit we're sticking with is Active Liver from New Nordic. Did you know your liver works around the clock processing food, sugar, alcohol, and everyday toxins? All things that can really impact your health.
That's why daily support matters. Active Liver is designed to help protect normal liver function and support your body's natural detox process.
With trusted ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and artichoke extract, it's gentle enough to take all year long.
No harsh cleanses, no extreme detoxes, just simple daily liver support. We really feel the difference.
Yup, more energy and the peace of mind knowing we can enjoy the good things in life while giving our liver the love it needs.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or you can find it in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
Oh, good one. And who was the group who created that ditty?
I don't know if they wrote it, but that's the Dubliners.
Yes, we're gonna be hearing from the Dubliners throughout the show today. Even hint, foreshadowing.
St. Paddy's Day.
Stick around for the song of the day. If you like this, you'll like more of it.
Wait, is
coming
Connor
up.
wearing green? I can't see. Oh, he is. Okay. You're
not
wearing
really.
green. You are.
It's kinda
Jill's
like-
wearing green.
It's like an olive green, I
That
suppose.
counts. She's got olive green on too.
I pulled this sucker out. Literally a 30-year-old garment.
Well, it matches your eyes
And it's
perfectly, so I
warm.
quite love it.
Thank you. It's warm.
All shades of green count, but
Yes.
probably Kelly green is that which
Yes.
would get you the Irish eyes to be smiling at you the most today. A couple more questions. Somebody was asking, what is red light therapy and how do you get it? It's kind of become popular, I would say, in the last 5 years. I had
Mhm.
never heard of it. Maybe it was around before then and I was just slow to understand it. But and I first heard about it at some like med spa kind of places. They
Right.
would offer it. They had a device that you could kind of sit in front of either for your face or even there's some benefits for healing for your entire body. And they have kind of like what's a tanning bed. but it's red light instead, which supposedly helps
Well,
your
yeah,
cells regenerate.
Dr. Rick broke it down for
right,
sure.
Instead of the other kind of tanning beds, which we know are damaging our cells. Now there's a huge market of red light therapy devices that you can buy for home. And so I have one. My kids and
So
my
you
husband.
put it on your face. It's a mask.
Yes, and I look like I look like a serial killer. I mean, it's terrible. It's
You look
very
like Jason,
frightening.
right?
Both the cat and the dog, every time I put it on in the morning, kind of stop and look at me like, what is happening?
I was wondering about that. And you said that you kind of gleaned your information about this because you go on Amazon. There are 1,000 of them out there. You're like, okay, which one is right for me? But you enlisted the help of somebody you know at WashU, right?
Right. And so who's a friend of mine who works in the kind of in the skincare, plastic surgery side of things. I know because she's a former neighbor of mine, and she kind of goes through the fact and fiction. And she said, yeah, red light therapy, there's some good research behind it. And then my kids are on top of a lot more of the skincare stuff. And so they
what
gave
difference
it to
do you feel?
I don't know that I can tell any difference. I'm just hoping that it's maybe slowing the speeding train of wrinkle sagging and other things that are happening in the season of life.
Yeah, because I was kind of toying with the notion of maybe getting one too. And I'm like, okay, am I going to waste my money and then set it aside after 3-4 times, which I tend to do? Should I? Because I'm not a big procedure kind of a person. I don't like spas. I don't get my nails done. I don't like any of it.
I'm too cheap, so that's my number one impediment to having any of that. But supposedly it slows down the progression. I can't say that I looked in the mirror and went, oh my gosh, look at this. Who is this younger person looking back at me? By any means, but yeah, so you do a little bit to try to slow that train down.
I'm kind of wondering, because I don't do anything. I don't put needles in my face. I've never done any. I've had many offers sitting on TV where people go, oh, you got some bags or some crow's feet. It's like, well, I'm a woman of a certain age now, and it's okay. This is what I look like.
Thanks for the input.
Yeah. So, yeah, believe me, unsolicited all the time. But I've actually been thinking about that red light mask, but I don't know which one to get. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, that's where reviews do help. If you buy stuff online, and some of them are probably the glowing ones, you got to kind of take with a grain of salt. But when you read a variety of them, you are going to get some input.
All right.
Speaking of glowing reviews, we always get one from Joe Holloman when he hops in. Lots to talk with him about. Coming up right after the news. Do not go away.
Hey, it's Heidi, and I've only sold 2 houses, but I know how stressful it can be. I also know the team at Lauren Risley Realty makes the entire process as easy as possible. I watched Lauren work with friends and my parents, and I can say she is top-notch. She doesn't just know the market, she knows what to look for in a home, and that includes red flags. And through all of it, she is calm, cool, and kind. So if you're in the market to buy or sell a home, or if you just have a question, call Lauren Risley Realty, 314-775-0684, or go to LaurenRisleyRealty.com.
Mizzou fans, are you looking for a jeweler? Your hometown jeweler of choice is Lordo's Diamonds in the heart of Ladue on Clayton Road. Lordo's Diamonds sells GIA certified diamonds, and they've been in the business a long, long time. You want to support local businesses, especially when it comes to jewelry, because the big box stores are long gone and you can't buy this stuff online. You need a jeweler you can trust, and Lordo's Diamonds is a company you can trust. They also give back to the community and support your Missouri Tigers. LordosDiamonds.com. Are you retired? Are you thinking about retiring? Who is helping you with retirement? Might be time to check out the show When Retirement Happens, hosted by Kevin Lloyd of Legacy Wealth Advisors. Saturday at 1, Sunday at noon on the Big 550 KTRS.
It's time to dance. Tune into our NCAA Tournament Preview Special Wednesday night at 7, presented by Mid-America St. Louis Airport, Cantor Injury Law, Fisher & Fritchell, McKnight Place Senior Living, and Lordo's Diamonds on the Big 550.
Diana from Newstetter's Fine Jewelers here to remind you, we don't just offer the best pieces, we offer one of the last master hand engravers in our country. My father can create timeless, personal, and unforgettable pieces. Come by our showroom at the corner of Big Ben and Doherty Ferry, or learn more online at wowdiamonds.com.
If you're thinking about it, we're talking about it. This is the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis.
Streaming live at KTRS.com.
Depend on
I'm
it.
Michelle Franzen.
3 weeks into the war with Iran, the head of the National Counterterrorism Center is stepping down due to the ongoing military operation, he says, in the Middle East.
In his stinging resignation letter, Joe Kent alleges President Trump has been deceived by an echo chamber of Israeli officials and what Kent calls influential members of the American media. Kent says those voices convinced the president that Iran posed an imminent threat to the U.S. and that the path to swift victory was clear. This was a lie, Kent writes, comparing it to the decision to go into Iraq more than 2 decades ago. The outgoing head of the National Counterterrorism Center says Trump can now reverse course or, quote, allow us to slip further toward decline and chaos. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Israeli Defense Forces announcing strikes overnight killed 2 senior Iranian officials, one in charge of the voluntary paramilitary group within the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, the other one of the highest-ranking regime officials. ABC's Patrick Reevell is in Doha.
Ali Larijani was one of Iran's most powerful surviving officials, head of its Supreme National Security Council. Although Ayatollah Khamenei's son had been named leader after his death, it was Larijani who was believed to be one of the key figures actually running the country. Israel has claimed he is now dead. Iran has not confirmed that yet.
Oil and gas prices still on the rise, with Iran blocking the Strait of Hormuz, a key shipping route for global oil. A gallon of gas in the U.S. up more than 50 cents on average. At the White House, a tradition on St. Patrick's Day, President Trump hosting the Taoiseach of Ireland. But the war with Iran, a big focus. President Trump, who did not seek Allied help before the Iran war, now criticizing some allies for not joining to help reopen the Strait of Hormuz.
I think NATO's making a very foolish mistake. And I've long said that, I wonder whether or not NATO would ever be there for us.
Residents from the south to the upper Midwest cleaning up after volatile storms, parts of Michigan hit by a late-season winter storm. You're listening to ABC News.
Are you ready for beautiful new floors? The Home Show sale is happening now at Boardwalk, your local flooring experts. Save 15 to 25% on select hardwood and durable floors for a limited time. Their friendly, knowledgeable team will help you choose the right floor for your style, your home, and your everyday life, combining beauty, performance, and long-term value. Boardwalk offers solid and engineered hardwood, luxury vinyl, waterproof flooring, and more, with free sample checkouts and tool rental to make your project easier and more cost-effective. Whether you're updating one room or the entire home, they'll walk you through the options of color, durability, and long-term value so you can feel confident in your decision. For more than 25 years, Boardwalk has been your trusted, local, family-owned, quality flooring provider. Visit one of their 4 area showrooms conveniently located in Manchester, Crestwood, Overland, and in St. Peters, or more at BoardwalkHardwood.com. Boardwalk is your proud partner of your St. Louis Blues. BoardwalkHardwood.com.
22 degrees at 11:03 with KTRS News. I'm Steve Potter. The City of St. Louis Recovery Office is hosting a meeting and resource fair today. It's to provide residents with an update on tornado recovery progress and the work that residents should expect to see across the impacted neighborhoods this spring. The meeting begins at 5:30 this evening at the O'Fallon Park Rec Complex. St. Louis police are asking for the public's help to identify those who reportedly blocked officers from responding to a street takeover on 314 Day that left a woman seriously injured. And city officials are talking about moving up the weekend curfew in the city for juveniles following what happened Saturday. Mitch McCoy is the Director of Public Affairs and Information for the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department.
Our police department took a very bold move last 4th of July where we opened up a reunification center where we were holding juveniles. And that is being discussed right now in police headquarters related to other events that might be happening.
Yesterday, Mayor Kara Spencer called what happened on Saturday unacceptable. Anyone with information about the street takeover is asked to contact a District 1 detective at 314-444-0100. Illinois voters today are deciding primaries for 6 open U.S. House and Senate seats that will spur a new generation of leadership in the state's heavily Democratic congressional delegation. The retirement of Democratic Senator Dick Durbin has triggered a competitive campaign to replace him. Among the candidates in Tuesday's Democratic primary are 2 sitting House members and the lieutenant governor. Conversations about bringing the city of St. Louis back into St. Louis County are starting up again, but this time It's not about a full merger.
Last week, St. Louis County Executive Sam Page floated the idea of the city of St. Louis re-entering St. Louis County, bringing the city in as its own municipality, as opposed to fully merging the two governments. Past attempts to reunite the two have failed. Most recently, the Better Together movement in 2019, which collapsed amid political division and the indictment of then County Executive Steve Stenger. This time, the idea is to put the city into the county, with the city remaining a city like 90 others in the county. And it would eliminate the need for duplication of services like 2 police departments, 2 health departments, 2 assessors, 2 circuit courts, among many more. At this point, there is no formal plan, no appointed board to consolidate services, and no outline of what reunification could look like. Civic leaders say those discussions will happen, but will not be like the past. Sobe Bay, KTRS News.
St. Louis County Councilman Dennis Hancock will introduce a resolution at tonight's meeting to oppose any city-county merger or re-entry proposal. This KTRS Business Minute brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. The city of Ferguson will be holding a town hall to discuss a proposed $1.8 million redevelopment of the former Emerson campus. SSL Investments is under contract to buy the 217-acre campus for $18 million. The town hall will be held at 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon at Ferguson City Hall. Now the markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune into Straight Talk on Retirement Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. The Dow is up 111 points at 47,057. NASDAQ up 79 at 22,451. And the S&P 500 up 21 at 6,720. In sports, the Big 550 will bring you Mizzou versus Miami in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Pre-game coverage starts at 6 p.m. on Friday night with tip time set for just after 9 o'clock at Enterprise Center in downtown St. Louis. And Illinois basketball has the number 3 seed in the South region and will be going up against the Penn Quakers on Thursday. We're looking for a high today of 35 degrees. We do have a 40% chance for some snow and gusty winds overnight, an overnight low in the low 30s. Then mostly cloudy tomorrow, gradually clearing skies with an afternoon high near 65. At 11:07, sunshine, 22 degrees at the Gold Tower at Westport. Steve Potter, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Welcome back to the Frank and Jill Show, second hour, starting now. Lots of great stuff coming ahead for you. Jill Farmer, Randy Naughton in for Frank, who's out on assignment, and, of course, Connor here holding down the fort as well. Joe Holloman, Post-Dispatch political reporter and columnist, joining us now. And, Joe, we've gotten a couple of questions on the text line, wondering if you have any thoughts on this Illinois primary. Lots of money being put into the race in Illinois. I think polls opened not too long ago, and it's Representative Robin Kelly, Raja Krishna Murthy, and Juliana Stratton in what has been a pretty heated race, and we've certainly seen the ads here in St. Louis. What are you thinking?
It sounds like good old-fashioned Illinois politics to me.
Mm-hmm.
Democrat politics where the most likely whoever wins the primary will win the general election, and it's sort of boiled down to a bit of a referendum on J.B. Pritzker. He early threw his support behind Stratton to take Dick Durbin's seat in the U.S. Senate. Dick Durbin retiring after many years. But Raji has just basically kind of went and said, hey, nobody gets to just pick who it is, and has thrown himself in a candidate, has raised a bunch of money.
Mm-hmm.
And sort of the interesting candidate here, and she is a U.S. Congresswoman, so just calling her a spoiler candidate. But apparently what political people who follow Chicago area politics more closely than I have said that Congresswoman Kelly is a little bit ticked that Pritzker jumped out so quick for Stratton without really paying any attention to any other Democratic candidates, and had a mind of her own to run and decided to go ahead and do it. So some of the people are looking at it is if there's a spoiler effect here, it would be that two females in the race would that take votes away from Juliana Stratton. So it's kind of the great, game where everybody gets in there. I mean, most people seem to think it's a two-person race, but with the wild card being, will Kelly's candidacy draw any votes away from Stratton, or will they draw away from Raji? It all depends, and I don't have any greater insight than what I've read from some folks who cover that stuff on a daily basis. But, Illinois politics is always interesting because quite often many people, especially if they're governors, end up in prison. So, I mean, it's a wonderful state for political scandal. This just seems to be the good old-fashioned where you tear each other up in the primary, and then you go on and have a united Democratic Party after that.
And I hadn't heard of this, but I do want to get to our texter's question from the 314. Joe, have you heard of the alleged Jesse Jackson endorsement of Stratton? How could a dead man give an endorsement? I hadn't heard much about that. Can you enlighten us if you have?
No, I have no light there for you on that one. I do not know about endorsements from the great beyond. I have no clue. So sorry I can't help you out there. But this is Chicago. I mean, wasn't that the old slogan, Chicago, the city where dead people vote? I mean, so I don't know. The best way to do it, some of these things sometimes, is wait for the end of the day and see where the votes are. And I would guess that, if it's Illinois, there will be some late reporting precincts, which always seems to be the great I remember one years ago covering Illinois politics, and there was apparently some election judge just took the ballots home with them.
Oh,
and
heavens.
so when they're missing this one whole precinct, he's like, I've got those in the trunk of my car. I just went home last night. Yeah, okay. So whatever. Hey, it's Chicago. So.
All right. Hi, Joe. It's Randy Naughton, and we're switching gears here. Talking about St. Louisan, who was appointed New Zealand ambassador. I kind of love that, and I wouldn't mind that job. I've always wanted to go there. Who is it, and what does it mean?
Well, Jared Novelli has been nominated. One would think will end up being appointed. Haven't seen anything that there was some great problem with it. Jared Novelli been appointed as ambassador to New Zealand, Samoa, and some other islands down there. He is a former St. Louisan. His father was Tony Novelli, who founded Apex Oil Company and was also a big player in the development of St. Albans area of St. Louis County. And his son Jared, who has been doing business in New Zealand. In fact, he owns a team, the Illawarra Hawks, who are in the Australian equivalent of the NBA. So he's a big basketball team owner. In Australia, that's their professional league. I believe it's called the NBL. And, just a entrepreneur and a businessman, also an owner and director of Apex Oil Company, which was the company founded by his family. And so Eric Schmidt, good friend of Eric Schmidt's, and has been nominated for the ambassadorship. But yeah, if you're going to be sent to an ambassador to some countries, I can see where some ambassadorships would almost be a punishment. It's like, oh, what did I do wrong?
Yeah, send me to New Zealand.
But New Zealand, it's like ambassador to Tahiti. And I've put my name in for that one, quite honestly. Every new president, I send them a note that said I'd be willing to serve as ambassador to Tahiti.
Well, we'd love that for you, but we'd hate it for us if you made that happen.
So what are the benefits of the St. Louis area for something like this? Does it matter at all?
Well, it certainly could. If you're looking for, if there are people in New Zealand looking to do business, and you can somehow recommend places in St. Louis, it's up to the New Zealanders, companies or government, what they want to do, but it certainly can't help. A lot of what ambassadorships are is just making sure everybody's at peace and they're still on your side, so that's kind of like job one right there. But if I would think that if New Zealanders are looking for investment opportunities or what have you, one would think that Mr. Novelli would have probably a little tighter finger on the pulse of things going on in the St. Louis region.
Mm-hmm.
So possibly there could be some benefit there. So
interesting stuff. So as far as I can tell, one of the big things if you're in part of being in the diplomatic corps, being an ambassador, involves being very good at building bridges with people and going to a lot of parties. I think I've got check on that.
Shoulder rubbing, cocktail parties.
I think I could do that.
What you need to do is the next president just send a letter to the White House, list a couple of countries you'll be willing to serve as ambassador to, and see how it goes. I figure it's either that or be very rich and connected.
Yeah,
One or
neither
the
and
other.
neither. Boom. I'm out.
Darn it.
You got to pick your avenue you want to go down. I took the just blank letter to whom it may concern. So.
Okay, I like it. I'm not sure the three of us have the best pathway, though. As you said, I think it's who you know and who you've maybe greased that pathway with through financial contributions. All well said. Save Act is being supported by, of course, Republicans in Congress today. The discussion is happening on it. Word on the street is that at least a fair percentage of somewhat moderates and even some not so moderates behind the scenes aren't sure that that's necessarily the best use of our time and energy as a country right now. Do you think it has a pretty good chance of becoming law, or what are your thoughts on this in terms of the new tighter regulations for being able to vote in our country that is being debated?
I wouldn't put money on it passing.
Okay.
Quite honestly, I think that it's one of those that in its theory that if you poll people and you say, do you think that only American citizens should vote? Yes, that's been clear through all demographics that polls have been done. I think the lowest poll showed 76% were in favor of yes, there should be ways to do it. But it also seems to be, when it comes down to spending money to it, as some people use the old cliche that I think at least has some application here, is that it's a solution looking for a problem. Mm-hmm. And I think the one thing that the people who have espoused, we've got to make sure that only American citizens, and this is to register to vote. Okay, this isn't like each and every time. Once you become a registered voter and you prove your citizenship, it's not like every time you go to vote on a bond issue, you're going to have to keep proving your citizenship. It's when you register to vote. And I just don't think that the side that says we need to have bigger safeguards has given any evidence that shows it's been a massive problem anywhere. Mm-hmm. It has been a problem. Everything will always be a problem. There are going to be people who sneak in to any system. Somebody will game the system, and let's say a convicted felon who may have forfeited their right to vote somehow gets to cast a vote. The question is, how much money do you spend to catch what seems to be a very small amount of violations? And I think that's where it comes down to, is not that I'm opposed to people being citizens. I think that legislators have to ask, how much money are we going to spend to correct what seems to be a rare exception as opposed to the rule? So yeah. I would think that this will not end up being passed, but I've been wrong so many times.
Well, some of the data that came out of the states that were kind of gung ho to do this on the state level are showing as few as 1 in a million. So when you look at odds, I have a simple mind. Everyone would agree with that, and I'm a simple thinker. But growing up in a small town, a saying that a lot of farmers say is, when you spend time solving a problem that isn't really a problem, you waste a colossal amount of time and energy. And I think that's some of the sentiment that's coming out around this that you articulated extremely well on this as well, Joe.
I do want to. We have time for another one, Jill?
Sure.
Time for another one. Josh Hawley and Senator Warren are kind of ganging, and I won't say ganging up, teaming up to take bonuses away from bank executives. Why is this a problem?
Well, there you go. And what's even more bizarre is they proposed this last session and it didn't get passed. So my question is not so much what's with this bill. What I want to know is, I have two things. One, who's opposed to this? And let me very briefly. So a bank fails, and if they find that in the period before that bank failure, that the head of the bank, the top executive, CEO, and a couple of other select suits would the bonuses and money that they made in, I believe it's either 3 or 5 years prior to the bank failure, could be clawed back, could be taken away. And I have two questions. One, who thinks this is a bad idea? And more importantly, why do you think this is a bad idea? I mean, to me, it seems like one of those bills that you go, well, that should just be kind of 100-0 vote. If you led a bank into failure, and the example they point, this all came up, the failure in 2023 of Silicon Valley Bank, where in the several years before it failed, the federal regulators had raised like more than 30 warning flags that you guys were headed toward disaster. Those flags were ignored, and the CEO ended up collecting bonuses and then made money on stock sale very shortly before the bank failed. So I just wonder, who is it that's opposed to this? And I really want to know the honest reason why you're opposed to it.
Well, a lot of people are like, wow, all these rich billionaires, millionaires need to contribute more to society. I'm like, well, yeah, as you know, if you have a problem with it, become a bank CEO, I guess, right? And then you can have some.
I think, you kind of use the words. I think more people are interested on where are the contributions as to why this bill failed 2 years ago.
Right.
I mean, who are you afraid of? I mean, to me, it just seems to be one of these, take the bad man's money away. It's like, well, we don't want to rush into things. Oh, really? Why not? So it would make me interested in looking at campaign contribution reports.
Yeah, that's true, too.
And
it's a
I'll leave
whole
it at
different
that.
ball of wax.
Before we let you go, I think one of the most important questions we can ask you today, Joe, front and center is, are you going to eat any corned beef and cabbage or perhaps a Reuben sandwich in honor of our Irish friends?
I had corned beef on Sunday. We usually do it the Sunday before. I will admit to that of all the many people in St. Louis, I have zero Irish heritage, and that's rare in St. Louis.
Yeah.
I mean, most people in St. Louis, you start with German, Irish. It's like that's the 1-2. Well, I do have German, but I have no Irish. So I try not to glom on to people's days, and
Much better man than me. I'm glomming all over the corned beef and all of the, especially if there's good food involved. I'm just going to jump right on that train.
Yes.
I'll eat a Reuben any day, though. I don't need it to be. It's sort of like New Year's Eve when people go, are you going to go out and party tonight? It's like, you can pretty much party every night. I don't need a special occasion to overindulge, and anyone who knows me knows that. So it's like, I've never been one of those who feels an obligation, to do something. It's like, you going to eat Cajun food because it's Mardi Gras? It's like, no, I'm going to eat Cajun food because I like it.
Yeah, yeah.
I may do that on a Thursday in July. I don't know. I mean, so, but I always feel this is a day for the Irish. And it's sort of like people go, you're celebrating Cinco de Mayo. I'm not Latino. I have nothing against the day. I think it's great. And I'm glad.
But chips and salsa are any day of the week, right?
Absolutely. And I'm not going to try to all of a sudden fake some Irish heritage or Hispanic heritage or Polish heritage on Casimir Pulaski Day, though I'll eat a kielbasa any day of the year. So, I mean, I am with you all, but I'm not with you. So.
I gotcha. Well, if you do get a hankering for a Reuben, we've gotten some suggestions on the Royal Banks of Missouri text line, and definitely number one on the list is Blue City Deli when we asked where you like to go get a delicious Reuben. In your case, on any day other than St. Patrick's Day, but for the rest of us today and other days as well. Fun, Joe. Great to have you. We'll look forward to our conversation next week, and happy St. Patty's Day to you anyway.
Happy St. Patrick's Day to you too as well.
Yes,
Thanks.
indeed. Thanks, Joe. And by the way, look, this is what I drank my coffee out of this morning, the Naughton Family Crest Cup. So I am Irish. It used to be O'Naughton back in the day, so that's what it looks like.
Yeah,
I posted it on social media, by the way.
Slightly better TV version is just plain old Naughton, right?
Yes, exactly.
Or radio from back in your
Yes.
radio days. And by the way, Connor, you happen to live very close to today's shenanigans
I do.
going on over in Dogtown.
I don't know when they start, though. I don't know if I'll be there for that.
Did you get out of the neighborhood easily enough this morning?
Depending on how long it goes on, I might not be able to get back in, so we'll see.
Well, that's the Hibernian Parade, right? That's happening today. Yeah,
that's happening today.
In Dogtown, yes. It's many people. I mean, I have a lot of St. Louis friends who this is whatever day of the week, if it's Monday through Friday, St. Patrick's Day falls on every year. It is a vacation day or a sick day for them because they are heading down to hang out with the Hibernians.
And you won't see Joe Holloman there. You just won't.
We got it. We got that clear. And you probably aren't going to see Jeff Zufall there either. That's because he's working really hard because, believe it or not, don't shoot the messenger here. We're about 1 month away from tax day, which means we're getting down to crunch time. And If you're a procrastinator and you've been meaning to get around to it and you feel overwhelmed by this every year and you don't like what you end up having to pay, or you get a big fat refund, but you recognize that that probably means that money, or it definitely means that the money that's coming back from the government is not earning interest for you and not growing for you in the way that it could if you were perhaps a little more strategic around it. And I know we use that a lot. We talk about Jeff being a senior tax strategist and wealth advisor at Capital Advisory Group. But strategy is just a plan. It's a fancy way to say you got a good plan, and the best way to get a good plan is to have somebody who knows these tax laws frontwards, backwards, sideways, upside down. And that is Jeff again. How do I know he knows it so well? He's literally written the book on it. A bestseller and a new, I'm sure, soon-to-be bestseller that has just come out that takes a look at the newest tax laws, what President Trump called the big, beautiful tax bill, and how it impacts just about every single one of us. And if you're a small business owner or you know a small business owner, you especially need to be paying attention to this new tax laws and being able to take advantage of some of the ways you can help your business grow. Capital Advisory, grp.com, 636-394-5524.
From the same guys who brought you the watering bowl, say hello to the number 2 crew. The number 2 crew will visit your yard once a week in St. Louis City, St. Louis County, or St. Charles County, and they'll take care of your dog's business. Think of the number 2 crew as your yard's best friend. 314-717-8880 or the number2crew.com. The number 2 crew reporting for duty each and every week in your backyard. The number 2 crew or the number2crew.com.
Hey, it's Heidi, and I'm inviting you to join me October 23rd as we journey in search of Iceland's magical northern lights with Colette. We'll experience the land of fire and ice with a rare opportunity to search for the northern lights every single night with a tour guide. Our journey includes a day in the charming city of Reykjavik, checking out the steamy lava fields, massive glacier-sculpted mountains and valleys. We'll get unique views of beautiful waterfalls and walk along the black volcanic sand beach. And let's not forget, a relaxing dip in the Blue Lagoon. Colette handles all the deets, from flights and meals and hotels, even the local experiences. Your only job is to have the time of your life with me. You have until March 25th to sign up, so don't miss out. Join me. Call our friends at Altair Travel, 314-968-9600, or go to KTRS.com to learn more.
Out here, the bright lights show you who's ready and who's just talking. AT&T's been steady in the pocket since 1876. Take T-Mobile. They talk a big game about price locks, then get smacked for deceptive ads. 150 years of playing it straight tends to show. AT&T. When you compare, there's no comparison.
Based on RootMetrics United States Root Report 1H 2025. Tested with best commercially available smartphones on 3 national mobile networks across all available network types. Your experiences may vary. RootMetrics rankings are not an endorsement of AT&T. Based on advertising challenges of wireless and home internet providers filed from 2022 to 2025.
Thinking of buying a new home? Think TR Hughes. TR Hughes Homes has great prices on beautiful new homes at 4 desirable locations. Charlestown Landing in North St. Charles, convenient to Highway 370. The Grove at Riverdale and St. Paul with standard 4-car garages, just 10 minutes from the St. Peter's Dearborns. Arbor Valley and Wentzville on Highway N with minimum half-acre wooded lots. And our newest community, Elkhorn Ridge in Truesdale, just west of Wright City, minutes from Highway 70. Come and see why TR Hughes is St. Charles and now Warren County's premier home builder. TRHughes.com.
The Tigers are coming to St. Louis. Our special Mizzou pregame coverage tips off at 6 o'clock Friday night in front of a big game against Miami. It's powered by Royal Banks of Missouri on the Big 550.
It's springtime, so make some spring cleaning and clear out some room for Dogtown. Dogtown Pizza, of course. Take those freezers and deep freezes and stock them full of Dogtown Pizza. With plenty of sports and warm weather action coming up, you'll want to make sure you always have an emergency pizza on hand. And with 12 different varieties, you're going to need to make plenty of room. Bacon, 4 meat, and the veggie. Clean out those freezers to make plenty of room for all the Dogtown varieties. And to see a full list, check out dogtownpizza.com.
There are a lot of factors to consider when deciding between itemizing or taking the standard deduction. Investopedia editor-in-chief Caleb Silver says most people take the standard deduction. either because they rent, don't donate a lot, or have moderate medical expenses.
You might want to itemize deductions if you have a very high mortgage interest, if you make very large charitable donations, and if you have high medical expenses, you might want to itemize. But you have to make sure you keep track of all your paperwork.
Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Are you ready for tax season? Don't let the tax changes passed in the Big Beautiful Bill Act catch you off guard. Hi, I'm Jeff Azufal, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor at Capital Advisory Group and the author of the #1 best-selling book on taxes, Keep What's Yours, and my soon-to-be-released book, Keeping What's Yours, the Strategic Tax Planning Guide for the One Big Beautiful Bill. Since 1976, Capital Advisory Group has been saving our clients money year after year. Give us a call at 636-394-5524 or online at capitaladvisorygrp.com.
Kuna Food Service has been the trusted food supplier in the Midwest since 1918. For over 100 years, Kuna Food Service has been distributing the highest quality food products to some of your favorite restaurants while delivering superior customer service. When a restaurant puts their trust in Kuna Food Service, they get a team that truly cares about their success. That's why at Kuna, they like to say, they're big enough to handle it, yet small enough to care. Check them out online at kunafoodservice.com.
Aaron Gobra.
I'm the Prime Minister of Ireland.
It's another St. Patty's Day in the Lou. The Big 550 KTRS.
The Bommarito Automotive Group is Missouri's #1 automotive group. They've sold over 1 million vehicles by giving you a better price, a better selection, and more for your trade. You can see their entire inventory online at bommarito.com.
Want a song?
You're on my mind like the song on the radio.
Want a quote? It's the song and quote of the day on the Frank and Jill Show. Right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Time check, 11:31. Time sure does fly on a very fun St. Patrick's Day Tuesday. Jill Farmer, Randy Naughton on the Frank and Jill Show. Randy sitting in for Frank, who is...
He's a busy man today and all week.
And all week. All things, all basketball, all week long. For sure. And breaking news, super exciting to be able to report this, that, of course, we mentioned University of Illinois is got a good seed, playing well, and going to be playing in the NCAA tournament. And the only place in St. Louis where you were able to hear that game live is right here on KTRS. We'll be having that game Thursday night, 8:30 p.m., tune in to hear the University of Illinois play, hopefully a big, easy win over Penn if we have things our way. And, of course, this is what I love about being locally owned, Randy, is that, of course, there was nobody else was playing the game, and we were able to be flexible and say, listen, we'd love to cover this. So many of our listeners are on the east side of the river. So many St. Louis residents are Illinois alums, and we want to be able to bring that game live to our listeners.
Again, it's the talk of St. Louis for a reason, right? They found out that Illinois was not able to be broadcast anywhere in the St. Louis region, so the boss here at KTRS stepped it up and said, come on down. We'll air the game. Let's do it. So it's going to be an 8:30 tip-off on Thursday, #3 Illinois versus #12 Penn.
Right. So, of course, the most favorable seeding of our three area teams that are in there, Illinois, because they've had a heck of a season in the Big Ten this year, for sure. And
it's going to be fun. Going to be a fun stretch.
Yes, I would agree. I would agree with that 100%. Song of the day today, we went back to the most Irish of the Irish. I actually just play this every once in a while on my Spotify because it's a jaunty thing to listen to when you're out on a walk, particularly. And it's the Dubliners. And I can't remember the name of the song that I chose. Connor, do you remember?
You can't remember it.
It's something about a road to Dublin, right?
Rocky Road to
Dublin.
The
Rocky Road to Dublin. I got
Dubliners.
that, which is, I think, a tune you guys are going to recognize. Don't you feel like that's one that we hear as a soundtrack to a movie fairly common, or TV shows? I think so as well. It's
or if you go to McGurk's or somewhere like that, whomever's playing at the moment, that's in the arsenal of songs. It's always a good one.
That's an occasional winter night. We like to go to McGurk's, of course, when the weather's great, because the outside patio is out of this world. We bring out-of-town guests when they come to town. They're like, what is this wonderland here that you don't expect when you walk in the outside of it? And in the winter, they have some really good Irish groups or trios that
and
play.
they're just tucked in a little corner, and all this big sound is coming out
and
of
you
them.
get the
It's great.
shepherd's pie or the Irish stew or the
now
corned
I'm
beef
hungry.
plate. Yes, it's a pretty fun.
By the way, the Hibernian Parade started in Dogtown at 11. So if you wanted to go, it's already underway. And I guess
the parade is, but
the
there's
parade
kind of
is.
festivities all day.
And you say the streets are going to be blocked off until like 10 p.m.
I
correct,
believe
Connor?
that's when the schedule says. I think things kind of close down around 8 and then they start clearing out.
I'd be napping so hard by 4 if I did that. I'd be like, no.
Yeah. I'm a semi-early riser. You're a really early riser.
I still get up very early. But you know what? I've always said that. You get more done by 9 a.m. If I do the kitchen, I fold the laundry, I do this, I do some work on my computer, plan my day, look at the news, and it's like, oh, now I got my whole day ahead of me.
And to you, who used to have to get up at 2:30, sleeping until 4:30 is like, it's like just luxurious.
I can't imagine it. If I slept till 9 a.m. or even 8 a.m., I'd go, oh my gosh, I just wasted my day.
You and Pertz, of course, talking about John Pertzborn, you're a very long time co-anchor on Fox 2 News in the morning. You guys wildly popular. You filled in for us on the Frank and Jill show a couple of weeks ago, sitting in. He's newly adjusting to retirement. John's going to join us on the show on Thursday.
That'll be fun.
Has he mentioned whether he's been able to make the sleep adjustment?
He claims he has, but I'm waiting for the 2 a.m. goblins to wake him up for absolutely no reason and say, no, I don't have to go to work. But it sounds like John is thoroughly enjoying retirement so far. But, he'll pop in here and be on the radio, and he's busy doing this, that, and the other thing. So he's enjoying it so far.
That's great.
I'm happy to see it.
So
he
did you
it.
have that experience of the 2 a.m. goblins, as you mentioned, it waking up for a while, or does it still happen?
It's still happening.
Darn.
I've been retired from TV for 3.5 years. It's still happening.
How often do people say to you, because Frank and I have talked about this before, oh my gosh, I watch you every day in the mornings.
I still get it. Oh, I look at you every day. I'm like, no, I've been gone for a few years. I've retired, but my husband said to me, I was on TV in St. Louis for 30 years. He goes, yeah, people are always going to recognize you. And if they don't recognize me, because true confessions, I do go outside looking like the ultimate troll sometimes. The minute I open up my mouth and they hear my voice, it's over. They go, you? Are you? Yeah, that's me. And sometimes I'm like, no, that's my cousin. And my daughter, Alex, goes, Mom, don't lie. I'm like, okay, thanks, hon.
She's the truth teller.
She is.
Quote of the day today, a little Irish humor from an Irish comic by the name of David O'Doherty. And he does a story about some of the fake Irish history that exists in the world.
Oh my. I had visions of Soulard and Dogtown right there.
Yeah, I was going to say, may you not have any of that fake Irish history happening.
Good luck, Dogtown resident Connor.
In your neighborhood. But and I think it's just one of those things for that one day a year. We have certainly a lot of friends that live in Soulard, and I say, how is it for Mardi Gras? Does it drive you crazy? And they said, no. You kind of get used to it. The planners do a good job. The city does a pretty good job of communicating, and you either have to sort of get the heck out of Dodge or be willing to pivot or just embrace the whole thing. And I think that's kind of
and it's a fun time for sure.
Yes,
yeah.
and they're great neighborhoods to live in for the other 364 days of the year, even if that's not necessarily your jam. Do you ever go to the parade, like if it's on a Saturday or Sunday? And
yeah, I was at the parade 2 years ago. It was on a Sunday, and it was a good time.
And weather plays such a big role on both the downtown celebrations. This year, the downtown celebrations got a little luckier on the weather than
it's a little colder today, but
it's very cold.
It's not the end of it's not yesterday.
Right, and it's not Chicago where you were
There
celebrating.
was snow. There was snow, and they were still talking about how good the weather was.
Yes, for sure. We're going to be right back talking a little bit about a fitness method that some of you guys have heard about, but you may want some more details on after the break. But first, I've mentioned it, and it really is a milestone. 40 years for our friends at Woods Basement Systems. They've been providing, by the way, free estimates since 1986. So for 40 years, you've been able to have some of the best experts in our area on things like foundations come out, and for no money, no charge to you, be able to give you a free estimate. What makes, I think, the contractor of choice for so many homeowners is the approach to reviewing all of the repair options, especially because they have so many patented products that customize exactly the right repair for the problem being experienced. So whatever it is that you are having an issue with, there's no like, well, we'll see if we could figure that out, or let's try this. There's patented, researched, science-based solutions that architectural that are going to enhance, support, and repair the architectural integrity in your home in ways to make sure that it maintains its value from here for as long as you live in the home, and certainly belongs. So longer than that. So if it's dampness, cracks in the walls, uneven floors, have Woods out, free estimate, and they will come up with a problem and fix it before it gets worse. WoodsBasementSystems.com, 618-708-4055.
And now, KTRS weather.
Our St. Patrick's Day forecast a lot colder than normal for this time of year. 37 for the afternoon high. That's about 20 degrees cooler than the norms. Plenty of sunshine, though, to get the day started. And then an increase in cloud cover this afternoon and tonight. A quick clipper system rolling in from the northwest. And some light snow or light rain showers around from late this evening into the overnight. But a warm front scooting in, so temperatures will actually be on the rise. As a result, I don't expect any accumulation or travel impacts out of this weak system. It's mid to upper 30s early Wednesday, and then we'll kick this warm-up in. 64 tomorrow, 70s Thursday and Friday. We are close to 80 by Saturday afternoon. What a turnaround. From the First Alert 4 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matt Chambers on the Big 550 KTRS.
Are you ready for beautiful new floors? The Home Show sale is happening now. At Boardwalk, your local flooring experts. Save 15 to 25% on select hardwood and durable floors for a limited time. Their friendly, knowledgeable team will help you choose the right floor for your style, your home, and your everyday life, combining beauty, performance, and long-term value. Boardwalk offers solid and engineered hardwood, luxury vinyl, waterproof flooring, and more, with free sample checkouts and tool rental to make your project easier and more cost-effective. Whether you're updating one room or the entire home, they'll walk you through the options of color, durability, and long-term value so you can feel confident in your decision. For more than 25 years, Boardwalk has been your trusted, local, family-owned, quality flooring provider. Visit one of their 4 area showrooms conveniently located in Manchester, Crestwood, Overland, and in St. Peters, or more at BoardwalkHardwood.com. Boardwalk is your proud partner of your St. Louis Blues. BoardwalkHardwood.com.
Hey, Heidi here for my friends at Premier U. Spring is right around the corner, and this is your moment. The season of fresh starts now. Longer days, more energy. At Premier U, they don't guess, they personalize. Whether it's metabolic testing, hormone optimization, weight management, or IV support, they build a plan around you. If you've been saying I'll start soon, this is soon. Spring forward with clarity, confidence, and a strategy that works. Check out PremierUMed.com or call them today, because this is your season.
Worldwide Technology Raceway is the only track in America to host a NASCAR event, an IndyCar event, and an NHRA event.
The Raceway features a full schedule on their drag strip, oval track, and Gateway Kartplex. For full schedule and ticket info, go online to www.raceway.com.
The track, under the leadership of owner Curtis Francois, continues to upgrade the race experience for fans who come from around the country. For tickets, go to www.raceway.com.
That's www.raceway.com.
At Midland, we know sometimes all it takes is a moment for an idea to spark, or to make it happen, a moment to find your dream, or build one, a moment to start your forever, or at least start planning for it. Whatever moments you have, Midland is here for them and can help you make them. Midland, brighter together. Visit us at midlandsb.com. Midland States Bank is member FDIC.
Get your reservations in now for Bishop's Post. Bishop's Post. They have the best version of your classic favorites. Located in Chesterfield, Bishop's Post is the perfect spot for that celebration.
When you pay for tree work, you want to be sure you're getting the most for your hard-earned money. That's why you should always use the ISA certified arborist at River City Tree Service in Baldwin, Missouri. Hi, I'm Steve with River City Tree Service, and we've been the go-to tree service since 2008. Tree removal, tree trimming, storm damage, deadwood removal, stump grinding, and more. Give River City Tree Service a call for all your tree service needs at 314-270-8071. That's 314-270-8071. River City Tree Service.
Aaron Gobra.
I'm the Prime Minister of Ireland.
It's another St. Patty's Day in the Lou. The Big 550 KTRS.
Friend texted a few minutes ago and said, don't forget that Irish soda bread. Do you ever make it? I said, no, I do not bake bread in general.
No,
I mean, I wouldn't say, like, sourdough I crave. Irish soda bread is a good dipper if you're eating some stew, but I wouldn't
We
say.
call that in our house, we call it globbing. This is a good globbing sauce. So, and you take your nice, big, thick, nice bread and you glob it up.
Yeah.
That's globbing.
I do. When I am eating soup, that is something that I do.
Oh, gotta
enjoy,
have it,
is,
yeah.
is having something to kind of to soak it up. For sure. It's very good. So a few other early morning folks on the Royal Banks of Missouri text line, Randy Naughton. If I don't start a home repair project before 8 a.m., it feels like it started
Yes,
too
indeed.
late. Do you feel that way too?
Absolutely. My husband is still in bed and I'm messing around in the kitchen or, figuring out dinner and seeing what ingredients I have or, I'm a get up and start moving kind of person.
Did you become a morning person after 20 years of waking up that early, or were you always as soon as you woke up, your feet hit the ground and you were kind of ready to go?
Well, I used to do morning radio as well. So it started a long, long time ago, back in the 80s when I was on the radio. So I think I've always been an early morning person. Even when on vacation, I'd get up super early to get in the boat to go fishing, because we lived right on near Canada, and that's those were our vacations.
Mm-hmm.
And, obviously the best walleye fishing is in the morning. So you go up there and you get your walleye. So, I've always been a morning person, I think. I like it that way.
John is that way, and one of our daughters is that way, where they just sort of, when they're awake, once they're awake and they're ready to go.
Yeah.
I don't sleep in. I wish I could sleep in. So I wake up early, but I really don't want to be having conversations.
Are you a lingerer in bed? Well, I'll check my phone. I'll look at that. I'll have my coffee, and I'll just wait to get out of bed. Nope. I think it's because I was on deadline to get on the news.
Mm-hmm.
Once my alarm goes off, I pop up and I'm out.
No, I love that. I get up, I read 3 or 4 newspapers in bed with my tea and just and I just as soon not talk to anybody for about that
I
first
can't
hour
imagine
or
myself
so.
doing that. Just can't.
Nope, you love it. Hey, we're almost wrapped up, but we still have one more conversation we want to have, and you guys are going to want to hear this. You've heard me talk about 20 minutes to fitness, but how does it really work? Let's bring one of the experts in who really understands this. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. Stick around. One more break.
The University of Missouri St. Louis offers academic programs at the undergraduate, graduate, doctoral, and professional levels to fit any passion, purpose, and schedule. At UMSL, more is what moves us. Find your more at more.umsl.edu.
Hey St. Louis, it's Kathy from Connor Roofing, and spring storms are upon us. Is your home ready? At Connor Roofing, we specialize in roofing, siding, and gutters to protect your home from the elements. Don't wait for leaks or damage to strike. Our expert team will ensure that your home stays safe and secure all season long. Call Connor Roofing today at 314-375-7475 for an inspection, and you can enjoy the beauty of spring leak-free. Look us up at connorroofing.com. That's CONNER roofing.com.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us. at easterseals.com.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by Abbott.
Baseball is a story told across generations, through the players, the moments, and the gloves that shape the game. Now, that story comes to life in Rawlings, the finest in the field book, available now on Rawlings.com. Each of the featured 50 gloves is presented through the detailed photography and paired with essays that place the artifact within its historical context. And additional memorabilia further illuminate the era each glove represents. Reserve your copy today on Rawlings.com and be among the first to experience baseball's evolution as told through the story of these iconic gloves.
There's a new flavor in town, the Jalapeno Ranch Club at Chick-fil-A. With that juicy Chick-fil-A original spicy or grilled chicken, a buttermilk ranch bun, candied bacon, pepper jack cheese, and jalapeno ranch sauce. It's got big ranch vibes with a little heat. Chick-fil-A's new Jalapeno Ranch Club, available for a limited time only. Order ahead on the Chick-fil-A app.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers. Oh, they're here. Hey, who needs something to drink?
we've been overindulging a little more than usual. Thank goodness we both added active liver to our diets to give our livers some much-needed support so we have the energy we need to enjoy the holidays.
Active Liver from New Nordic contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract designed to give your liver maximum protection and help it do vital jobs like removing toxins from alcohol, rich foods, and sweets.
Try Active Liver today and enjoy all the holiday treats with the peace of mind of knowing you're giving your liver some relief.
Find Active Liver online at Amazon, Vitacost.com, or iHerb.com. Or pick it up today at CVS, Meijer Grocery, or ShopRite. Enjoy life to the fullest with Active Liver.
Got gold? Get green at Jewels on Hampton. Jewels on Hampton pays the most for your precious metals, jewelry, gems, currency, antiques, and collectibles. Jewels on Hampton buys precious and semi-precious gems and stones, scrap gold, and sterling silver. Jewels on Hampton buys and sells paper money, wristwatches, and pocket watches. They even take pianos and cars. To sum up, bring your gold chains, bracelets, rings, coins, dental gold, and more to Jewels on Hampton, 4506 Hampton Avenue in St. Louis. And get green online at jewelsonhampton.com. Don't miss Straight Talk on Retirement with Jeff and Aaron Lapidus every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Join this dynamic father-daughter duo every Saturday morning for an entertaining and intimate understanding of the retirement needs you may soon be facing. From decades of financial planning expertise combined with a deep knowledge of healthcare benefits, Aaron and Jeff will give you the Straight Talk on Retirement every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Welcome back to the Frank and Jill Show. Happy Tuesday, but especially happy St. Patrick's Day to you. Happy NCAA basketball week. Of course, got SLU and Mizzou and Illinois all in the tournament. Yay, us in the St. Louis region. Lots of people to cheer for. But of course, you're going to be able to listen to the Illinois game only right here on KTRS, the Big 550, the Talk of St. Louis. That's coming up Thursday night at 8:30. Nobody else was airing it, and since we are locally owned and flexible, we said too many Illinois fans are going to want to hear this. So
that's awesome.
That's what we're going to do. I started about four months ago working out at 20 Minutes to Fitness, and you guys have heard me talking a bit about this, and I have been incredibly impressed and surprised at the changes that I've seen in terms of getting stronger, building some muscle mass, even though I've been lifting weights for a lot of years. I guess I wasn't doing it right before. So I asked Darrell Connor, who's from 20 Minutes to Fitness. You've been there for 15 years, you said? Close to that,
13
Darrell?
years.
13 years, close enough. And you are obviously, you know a lot about training, about physical fitness, about people in great shape or who have never been in good shape, getting in good shape. Why does 20 Minutes to Fitness work so well for such a variety of people, would you say?
Well, I think first off, after around the age of 30, we start to lose 4 to 6 pounds of muscle mass per decade, and around 55 to 60, that accelerates without any intervention. So that's what we like to really focus on 20 Minutes to Fitness. It's burning fat mass while increasing your lean muscle mass.
I want to ask about the name of it, 20 minutes. It's like, really? Can you really get a full body workout? Can it really be effective in only 20 minutes? How does that work?
I think it's very precise. The machines that we use, you can fit people in an ergonomically correct position so they can really focus on those muscles correctly.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all machine, basically.
Correct.
Okay.
And yeah, we have all body types. And
tons of machines.
Yeah. So it's a full body workout. We have machines for each different muscle group. And it's called slow cadence training. And the idea is to work at a high intensity for a short period of time, so we can, get those microscopic tears in the muscle fibers and generate more muscle growth.
That's what I was telling you a little bit before we went on the air. I really thought 20 minutes. Okay, good. I'm really going to show them what good shape I'm in. I started lifting weights a number of years ago, and I got in there, and I was my muscles were shaking, and I'm not quite as sore after every workout as I was, but it's that good sore, like your muscles are growing and getting stronger kind of sore.
Right.
In places that I'd never felt the muscles before. I am very impressed with the variety of people in there. People who are obviously coming back from some kind of a health challenge or some form of a health adventure, that are coming back from surgeries, and people who are, I know because I've known them for years, are marathon runners and extremely fit. As a trainer, is that what you see? And if so, do you like working out with that variety of people?
I do. There's definitely a lot of different varieties of people that come there. We have Orlando Pace used to work out there. He was an offensive lineman for the Rams, but then we have Warren Sullivan, that's 102 years old, that comes there.
Wait, what? 102 years old doing weight training.
Yes.
That's amazing. Now I feel like a slug.
Yes.
Seriously.
So we do try to cater to the age group around 30 and over. Is what we focus on.
And a lot of people like the idea of 20 minutes, because sometimes you go to the gym, you have to wait for the machines, whatever. A class is scheduled at a certain time. Seriously, you can get it done in 20 minutes in and out.
Yes, it's very efficient. It is. The idea is they come once or twice a week. And that's what I think people like most about it too, the efficiency of it. Because you do want to give your muscles 48 to 72 hours to recover, so you can get protein synthesis and stimulate more muscle growth.
That's what it is all about.
And it's so important
once to twice a week,
at this
minutes.
Age to kind of do some kind of weight training, because that leads to bone strength, and it all is connected as you age.
Yes, I see we get a lot of clients like that want to increase their bone mass also, because osteopenia, osteoporosis, things of that nature.
Those are real challenges. And Dr. Rick has told us now in the latest research, we used to think it was just all about kind of the orthopedic side of things, and he's an orthopedic surgeon, but he says now we know that it's really people who are weight training are living longer for a variety of reasons in the sort of the brain, body, and organ connection that we didn't even know 10 years ago. So the research is going in the right direction. Darrell, thank you for saying this so much more clearly than I'm able to. As a customer, as a client, I absolutely love it.
2 locations?
2 locations, one in Clayton and one in Chesterfield in the Valley.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Check them out online, 20minutestofitness.com. Make it a great day, everybody. It is St. Patrick's Day. We hope you get some delicious food, maybe a delicious beverage or two. Say something friendly to a neighbor. Julie Buck back in the house. Carney and Buck up next, along with Max. And then, of course, later today, the Heidi Glaus Show. Connor, are you in for Bob again today?
I am.
Okay, so it's going to be Connor and Josh and Heidi. Don't go away, everybody, and make it a great one. We'll see you tomorrow.
The St. Louis Chess Club is a newly expanded 30,000 square foot state-of-the-art chess center featuring world-class tournament playing halls, classrooms, library, and casual play spaces for everyone who loves the game.
But it's so much more than a place to play.
It's where champions are built on the board, in the classroom, and across the community, with a mission to bring the game to everyone from all levels, with membership starting at just $15 a month.
Discover the excitement, the challenge, and the community of chess at St. Louis Chess KTRSclub.org.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. You know how spring works in St. Louis. One week you're running the furnace, the next week you're flipping on the air conditioner. It's weather whiplash, and your HVAC system feels it too. That's why spring is the perfect time to